Good afternoon. You're listening to A&K in the Afternoon. I'm your host, DJ Andy D.
And I'm Keegan Doyle.
And on today's episode of A&K, we're going to be talking about the big Hollywood blockbuster Frozen, done by Disney. I actually just saw it for the first time 2 nights ago, and it was one of the best Disney movies I have ever seen, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I'd say it has a very different storyline than most of the other Disney movies.
It definitely and just completely goes away from normal Disney, topics.
Definitely. And on top of that, the music is awesome. The acting is awesome.
Let it go. If you haven't listened to Let It Go, go listen to the original song from the movie, Let It Go, and then listen to the Alex Boyer version that you can hear on YouTube.
That was pretty amazing.
And it's this 9-year-old girl that sings it like 8,000 times better than the actress, and it's
pretty amazing.
It's mind-blowing. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about the story for Frozen. It starts off, 2 sisters, Anna and Elsa are the names of them. Anna is played by Kristen Bell, and Elsa is played by Idina Menzel. There's other characters in there. There's Kristoff. There's a snowman called Olaf, and
Snowman's awesome.
A grunting reindeer named Sven. But anyway, let's talk about a little bit of the plot of the story. Anna and Elsa are sisters from a royal family, and Elsa was born with the powers of ice. She can influence snow.
She can kind of shoot ice out of her hands. And make
it's actually really cool. And something happens, without giving any spoilers, something happens that kind of hurts Anna back in their childhood. They wind up making her forget everything about Elsa's powers, and then they isolate Elsa. Elsa becomes queen. Some bad stuff happens, and she runs away, and then creates a giant, everlasting winter that goes on forever and ever. And so Anna is on kind of a quest to find Elsa.
Yeah, what's really interesting is Elsa doesn't know that she created this giant winter.
Yeah, Elsa she's just trying to protect everybody else by leaving.
Yeah.
But she in turn accidentally made this winter happen. And so it's interesting to see that she's not like an evil character, because usually in Disney movies and most movies, you have a character that gets magical powers and she hurts somebody or she does something and then she's perceived as a monster. She goes away into isolation and he or she becomes the bad character and the main antagonist of the story. Well, that's not the case with Frozen. Can't tell you what actually happens, who the bad guy is, because that's really
but they probably won't want to hear it 'cause
nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah.
Lots of spoilers there. But that's the overall plot of the movie.
And then it's broken up with a lot of humor by a snowman named Olaf, who actually dreams of living in the summer and dreams of what it'd be like.
In fact, Olaf has his own song about summer, and he's like the oblivious one, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a lovable character, though.
Well,
Disney was really creative with that one.
Yeah. Okay. So before we get on with the show, one thing I wanted to point out, and I absolutely love this. It was my favorite kind of part of the movie, was that Disney makes fun of its own normal motif.
Yeah.
In this film, because in the first 20 minutes of the film, Anna meets a prince named Hans, and they sing a song together, and then they instantly fall in love. Typical Disney story.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so Anna goes to Elsa, and so tries to ask Elsa for her blessing, and Elsa says, no, you can't get married after meeting somebody in the same night. And then later on, Kristoff gripes at her for it too, and just repeats, you tried to marry somebody right after meeting him. So, and I just think it's funny because it's like Disney making fun of their own.
Yeah, pretty much. Because in the past, in Aladdin and Beauty and Beast and all those, it's kind of one of those that love at first sight type of story.
Love at first sight, yeah, and it's always what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Keegan, what was your favorite scene from this movie, if you can remember?
Well, I'm trying to think. I saw it back in December, so I'm trying to, remember. It's
keep in mind
this
movie's actually been out quite a while. We're just
came out back
starting
in
the show, and I just thought this would be like an excellent movie to talk about because it's still selling. It's still in theaters right now. Like I said, I just saw it a couple of days ago.
Now that I think of it, probably one of my favorite scenes is the part where Anna has been hurt and she's sitting next to a fireplace in this room. And Olaf, how's that pronounced?
Olaf, I think.
Yeah,
I don't think it's tomato.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, Olaf was in the room with her, and there's a fireplace, and what Anna says is, Olaf, don't worry about helping me. Save yourself. You'll melt next to the fire. But he says, some people are worth melting for. And that scene is just so, it's cheesy.
I remember that scene.
It's a really
that was my reaction. Scene. It was
yeah.
But
and then he said something like, but just not right now. And he walks away from the fire. But it was a really cute scene, and it was pretty neat.
One of the actual plot points of the movie, and this is kind of where the whole purpose of the show is to talk about Christian themes that we find in the blockbuster movies. And one of the plot points is actually this scene is taking place where it's a really major problem, is that Anna somehow gets her heart frozen, and only an act of true love can, and that's also a typical Disney thing, true love's first kiss, yada yada, but only true love can thaw out her heart. And it's an act of true love. It doesn't have to be it doesn't specify what it is. And the act of true love that happens is very, very unexpected as to what it is, because it's not your typical one like a kiss or anything like that.
And you know what's really neat about that is the fact that you can kind of relate it to Jesus, because most people, except for the people who read the prophets and for the books of the prophets and stuff, most people didn't really expect Jesus to come and die the way that he did. They expected him to come as a ruler, as a king, or as a great mighty warrior, that kind of thing. But that's not what he did. Instead, he came as a poor man, and he came, and instead of conquering people with a sword, he came and
showed kindness. He was just your average
kindness
guy.
And love. Yeah. And then he died on the cross for his sins. And people didn't expect that to happen that way, I don't think.
And what I feel like this movie really can relate to the love of Jesus Christ, because you have the frozen heart, and then you have the act of true love thaws the heart. And I believe we found a Bible verse that really, really, really explains that well.
Yeah,
so why don't you read that?
Ezekiel 36:26, which says, "I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh." I think that's just a really powerful verse. And I think that really,
I really like that verse.
Is a good way.
Well, see, for purposes of the movie and this show, like I've said before, I'll repeat, this show and the end of it, we have a lot of fun talking about, what we like and don't like about the movie. There wasn't much I didn't like about this movie.
Yeah.
It was amazing. But when it comes down to it, we really like to try to find these Christian themes in all these movies. And so for the purpose of the movie, the heart of stone is hard, it's frozen, it's cold.
Yeah.
Which is just like Anna's frozen heart. And the heart of flesh is warm, full of love, the love of Jesus Christ and God, that he has for each and every one of us.
Yeah.
And so that really relates. I know Disney did not intend for it to have a Christian theme, but when you really look down deep into it, you can find this and think about it. And just remember how much Jesus loves every single one of us.
Yeah.
And, well, it looks like we are about to run out of time. Thank you all for listening to A&K in the Afternoon. Let's tune in next week, every Tuesday and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Next week, we're going to be reviewing the movie Son of God. It's made by the people that did the Bible miniseries.
Yep.
And it's just a movie about the life of Jesus Christ. We're actually going to get to view it in IMAX, and I'm really, really excited about that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. That was A and K in the Afternoon. I'm DJ Andy D.
And I'm Keegan Doyle.
And we'll see you next week.